Mariano Arruda, professionally known as SquishyMuffinz, is arguably the most well-known RLCS player ever. The Canadian superstar was born November 29, 2000. The rest is history. This is the story of the rise and fall of SquishyMuffinz. Squishy started his professional career joining Chronix, teaming with now-retired player Lethamyr, along with Skies and Epic Johnny. However, the team was disbanded just a week after the group conjoined. Both him and Leth moved to form Vendetta, which in its fairly short lifetime had many well-known players, including JNaps, Kronovi, and Torment. In the week Squishy and Leth were paired up, they played in 2 weekly tournaments, Rocket Royale and SPL. After these 3 play-ins, he would depart to Iris and form a team that of himself, Torment, and Lakinio. Mariano started seeing consistent success, winning 4 straight ESL tournaments. This is where Squishy's rise to stardom began. On May 8, 2017, Squishy, Gimmick, and Torment all 3 departed Iris to create their own team, the Muffin Men. Here, the trio won 7 of the 8 competitions entered, most notably DreamHack Atlanta 2017. DreamHack started off with a 27-team group stage, with a double elimination best-of-3 scenario. The top 2 teams from each of the 8 groups would move on to the second round, with 4 groups of 4 teams and a double elimination best-of-5. Top 8 teams after the group stage were Ambition, Envy, Flipside Tactics, Gale Force, G2, Mocket, NRG, and of course, the Muffin Men. There was great competition in this bracket, with players like Turbo Pulsa, Cookser, Fireburner, Rizzo, and future teammate Garrett G. The bracket journey started off facing a powerhouse in NRG. This was no issue for the Muffin Men, as they swept the group in a best-of-5. Next up was G2, with arguably one of the best rosters of all time, with Rizzo, JNaps, and Kronovi. This was still no issue for Mariano and company, as they took the series in 6 of 7 possible. They now faced the grand final, and Gale Force. In a thrilling series that went the full 7, Gale no longer stood a chance, and the Muffin Men claimed the trophy and $20,000 prize. 5 days later, Cloud9 would acquire the team and go on an absolute rampage of the RLCS scene. Making their debut under the new team title, they would enter RLCS Season 4, where Mariano would have his career come full circle.
He almost had a touch, just fell short. I hope the pressure's not building up too much on him.
Now in the final minute, this was the scoreline in Game 3. Cloud9 unable to take it, but Squishy now with a daily shot. He puts it through. He's been going for this stuff all season, and he pulls it off here in the most clutch moments.
The player to invent the shot himself is able to get the delayed front flip.
In the end, Cloud9 would beat Ghost and Squishy's former teammate Lethamyr to claim the RLCS Season 4 NA champion title. However, they would later place 3rd in the World Finals. In RLCS Season 6, they would take 3rd in the NA Regional and qualify for a spot in the finals. A $500,000 prize pool was on the line in the 10-participant tournament, with Dignitas, We Them Girls, Flipside Tactics, and PSG Esports representing EU. NRG, G2, Cloud9, and Evil Geniuses represented NA, while Tainted Minds and Chief Esports Club represented Oceania. Cloud9 would start in the lower bracket, and made quick business of Tainted Minds, sweeping the team in 3. In round 2, they would face off against NRG, a familiar opponent. After winning the first match, NRG would win 2 straight, both 4-1 and be on match point. Cloud9 was down, but not out. They would win Game 4 by 1 goal, and move to Champions Field for Game 5.
Torment's there, Fireburner demolished after contact. Squishy back to Torment, looking for the shot. He puts it back into the corner, chooses to go for the pass play instead. 3 players crash into the box. Gimmick puts it in! The demolition made the way!
Winning the next series and moving on by a narrow margin, Flipside Tactics would be the next on the road for Cloud9. After winning the first 2, Flipside would match, winning the next 2, setting up yet another Game 5. Cloud9 would squeeze out the victory and move on to the lower bracket semifinals, where the other Oceania representative, Chiefs Esports, stood. This was no issue, as Squishy and company won the set in 4. The lower bracket final would move to a best of 7, where they faced upper bracket final loser Weedham Girls. Winning the first two by 3 or more, Weedham Girls would inch out a 1-goal win in Game 3. Game 4 would be awarded to Cloud9, and Weedham Girls answered back in Game 5. It was a bit too late, as Cloud9 took Game 6 at Wasteland to secure the move to the finals. Squishy, Gimmick, and Torment would have to pull off a bracket reset in order to win against a great Dignitas team, and that's exactly what they did. Winning the first set in 5, they repeated this in set 2, securing the team into RLCS history and giving them the long-awaited crown as world champions. After this, Cloud9 was never the same. Playing 4 tournaments after, they would win DreamHack Dallas 2019, place second in the Season 7 Regional, and third in the World Finals, which would be his last tournament with Cloud9. The team would disband and all members were released. As for Gimmick and Torment, they teamed with Coach Fireburner to form Rat Enterprises. However, in the summer of the 2020 COVID year, Squishy would leave the 3+ year team and move to NRG, in which the roster is still together to this day. He would see immediate success, winning both the Winter and Spring RLCS X NA Major. To top it off, they would then win the NA Championship. After placing second in the 2021-22 fall split, the team would begin to fall off. 8 months later, they would enter the 2021-22 World Championship, where after qualifying in the group stage, would be sent home in the quarterfinals by G2. As the winter split in Major approaches, it could be an opportunity for Squishy to once again prove himself. But until then, he's going to be stuck with the title of Wash World Champ. Make sure to leave your opinion of the outcome of the rest of his career in the comments. I'd love to hear your input. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it very much. Lots of research and planning was put into this video, so if you're interested, I'd love if you subscribe and like the video. If you want to see more, the links to my socials will be in the description below. I'm 413 Sean. Until next time, peace out.